What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. A massive match day here today as Juve look to exact revenge on Napoli. Those damn fools. And hopefully we can take care of business. And there's a lot to talk about in the news. Oh my, I took a lot of shots fired for what I said about this Juve a week ago, and oh my goodness, how things change. We're going to get into what's going on in the Mercato, all right, and as well preview this game. I got Cliff with me, I got Trimboli with me. We're looking to have some fun. Before I get to these fellas though, let's get rid of the housekeeping. Everybody drop a like as you're tuning in, smash the subscribe button. Good luck in this month's kick giveaways. They're both freaking absolute stunners, okay? 0506, 0405. What the hell are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and good luck. Those things are given away next week. The Army's ready to rock. Trimboli, are you ready to rock? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, today is all business. We are approaching this like it's game 7 of the Stanley Cup final or the final of the World Cup. Like, this is a big one for me. This is a big one. So like I said, it's all business over here. That's why I got the track jacket on. You know, I mean, I'm ready to go, ready to rock.
Ready to
Let's
go.
do
And
it.
Cliff, in the champagne room, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. We already got a hockey reference from Trim this morning. We're flying. We're ready to go. This is a good game day feeling right now. Napoli, we want this match. We're ready for this moment. Been on a good run of form with the exception of the Cagliari match, so I think we're ready to go today.
Oh, yeah, we're ready to go. And speaking of the Army, what's up to everybody jumping in here? Pino, ciao, ciao, Juventini, buongiorno, e te, Napoli. Adam Khan dropping in here. What's up? What's up? Cugino Eddie. We got Orangentino. Ciao, ciao. Lord Fizz, Forza Juve, Gio Juve, Vincenzo. It's great to see you all, okay? George, Pocolos in here as well. Guys, let's get to it, okay? Revenge time in Turin. Napoli arrive a bit battered, all right? But can that make them actually dangerous? Could we fall into a trap of maybe feeling a little too comfortable before this thing's going? We're going to get to all that. First, we got to take care of some of the headlines going around. First and foremost, we remember the one and only L'Avvocato, Gianni Agnelli, who passed away literally on the day yesterday, okay, on January 24th, 23 years ago. This guy was something else. We know famously the stories from Del Piero recounting the endless interactions with this guy, calling him 5 a.m. on game days. Did you sleep good? Like, how you doing? Grabbing papers, throwing La Gazzetta down on tables and calling out players saying, I don't believe this shit, we're going to prove them wrong, etc. He did that with Del Piero early in his career, and Del Piero never looked back. He's responsible for naming him Pinturicchio. Gianni Agnelli was so much more than like a president, man. This guy was a symbol. This guy was an icon. He was massive. And I can't help to think, and I said in yesterday's daily update video, how he would feel about how Juve's been run over the past handful of years. You know, things like Villar Perosa breaking down that tradition at the beginning of every year, getting close to the fans, having an intra-squad game, and then the fans rushing the pitch and then going. Now we're doing it at Allianz Stadium, but it's lost that allure. It's not quite as involved and just close knit as Villar Perosa. And you remember guys like Patrice Evra speaking about Villar Perosa, and that's where I learned what Juve actually is. Sitting down there after the intra-squad game and the fans rushing you, you sit down, you learn about the family, you learn about the history, you learn about Juventus, all in this setting. And he said it was incredible, like nothing he's ever experienced. And all these family ties, etc., they've kind of faded. But when you talk about business, you always knew Gianni Agnelli, and then even Andrea when he came in, that you were in good hands, you know. And the end might have gotten away from Andrea a bit. But my God, what would he think of how Juve's operating now? I called it out less than a week ago with the Mateta dealing and said that I don't believe we are acting as a top club. I said it looks very Mickey Mouse to me, and we are operating small time. I got called out. And said, oh, Mickey Mouse, just maybe fans don't have the stomach to hear that, okay? But we all want the same thing. Because I hate seeing not even rival fans, fans of like nobody teams that aren't even in the same stratosphere as Juve, badmouth this club. And you know what? They're right to do it because we're operating in a small time fashion. The Mateta thing was an absolute joke. You're telling me it takes 3.5 weeks to find out that Palace won't budge from that number, and you're willing only to go to a certain number? You need 3.5 weeks to find that out? Are you serious? And then you bail, you go to your plan B. Great. Boom. We got a deal with Fenerbahce. You've got nothing with En-Nesyri. Guys, I have been skeptical of Comoli. My skepticism still remains. But anybody that tries to tell me that we are operating as a top club, I will combat that and challenge it every day. We are operating like a small-time club. It's ridiculous to me. You're at January 25th. You really only needed 2 positions to get a little bit of help. What the hell? For me, it's small time. Do you guys agree? Who wants to kick this one off? Cliff? We'll go Cliff,
I'll go
Trim.
first. So I think, like, you see all the news, Senesi, Mingueza. We thought Mingueza was – I think Mingueza, did that end up happening? Did that deal go through?
No.
So that's like we were like, oh, Mingueza's happening. Senesi's happening. Chiesa might be happening. Like Mateta, all this stuff is happening. And then you can't get any of these deals over the line. I think the biggest indictment of Juve is the Mingueza deal because it was so cheap. You could have gotten a decent player for really cheap costs. You couldn't even get that over the line. So it's frustrating for me because, like you said, Al, it seems like a small club mentality when Juve is certainly not a small club. They're a titan of Italy. They're a titan of the European game. And you're telling me that, like you said, it takes that long to find out the price on Mateta. It takes you this long to try to get En-Nesyri, who is by far with all due respect to him and Fenerbahce, is a lower tier striker on the ladder of strikers in the world right now. It just really, it's frustrating because it's like the Juve of old would either get a deal done or, stop talking about it and find a backup and secure them. Now it's really, we're playing all these games like, who's going to be the guy? Who are we going to get? And it's like, make a decision, get your guy. If you like the price, pay it. If you don't, shut up and stop talking about it. So it's like, we need more finality to these discussions. We need a little bit more just aggression. Like, just be the Juve of old. Put up or shut up.
Yeah, I'm so done. And I said it before, the same thing. I'm done with these chases forever. And again, scrap the siesta time if you have to. Do whatever the hell you have to do. But 3.5 weeks it takes you to figure out Palace's not like firm price or whatever, and then move on. You need 2 positions. Not to mention you're working more on shit for the summer when you're going to have from February 2nd until the summer to sort that out. All these names, these other names, and we'll get into them, are for the summer. Bring Spalletti some damn help now. You only need 2 guys. These guys are Mickey Mouse. It's like different people come in, but it's just the same nonsense. Trim, what do you think? Small time operations or what?
Yeah, it's been nothing short of an absolute mess with this guy. I hate to look back in the past because you want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt and give him the chance to try to see what he can do. Because I do that with players often. You bring in a player, you want to give him at least a season to see what they can do. So far, this guy's basically struck out on everything. If you're even going back to the summer, what's his highlight? Bringing Jonathan David on a free? I mean, to say that that's a highlight too, people would come at me and say that that's not even a great signing in that sense, right? So if you're going based off of what he had in the summer and what he tried to bring into the summer, okay, fine. You give him a little bit of a pass and some leeway. Start the season off with Tudor. It doesn't go as planned. You bring in Spalletti. Spalletti's been here since what, mid to late October. You've had him for 3.5 months now. You know kind of what he's looking for, what he wants in this upcoming market, and what we need to address. And you've just got a whole bunch of names and a whole lot of sweet FA, as you like to say, Al, coming out of it. And it's like, yeah, it's becoming a joke.
Yeah.
At least for me, again, don't want to look in the past, but at least for me with the previous guy in Juntali, who I felt should have been given more time, at least he got shit done. You can question the moves, but at least he was not afraid to put his flag in the ground for Juve and bring the guys in and then make assessments after. But he got shit done when it came time. So yeah, I'm going to be very skeptical moving forward with this guy, to the point where I'd consider in the off season, depending how things go, maybe changing something up. And that's just me.
The problem is you're going to have the same guy calling the shots on who the pick is, and that's probably Elkan, right? Unless these other guys can put their 2 cents in. And I don't see them getting rid of this guy. Like, I mean, that would be another indictment on Elkan. Because Elkan, like, literally thought that we could just see Juntali off and, everything's going to be clear. No, all guns were, like, pointing in his direction. So now you have this team in there, and there's a lot of rumors in the background about what the hell's going on with these guys, and that Chiellini's actually responsible for the fact that Spalletti has come in, and Spalletti has shown quite a bit. But then there's also those that believe, no, Camoli's 100% behind Spalletti. Okay, great. Listen, George says, I will rate him when the window is done. This is why it doesn't really affect me, and my skepticism will still be there. And I'll tell you why. Because it's January. You're looking for rentals. That's what January's all about. You're looking for players that might be unhappy, might need more minutes, aren't getting them where they're at. Maybe you could pick them up on a non-committal deal, a loan with some type of option there. He chased for weeks an outright deal on Mateta. Okay? He chased that. Nobody told him to. He went after that. And you know what? Okay, cool. Showed a little ambition. To some fans, other fans thought, no, that's not ambitious at all. We don't want that, whatever. It's more ambitious than where you ended up, which is a rental type deal on En-Nesyri. If you tell me that it takes that long to get to this point where we're at now, bullshit. That's not effective. Spending a lot of time on nonsense. The fact that you were chasing Mingueza and Celta Vigo was clear with you from the start, it's going to take around 10 mil because of Barca's 50%, and you go in there with 3 million, that's on you. That's not on us being unrealistic as fans. And the disappointing thing about this is we have egg in our face on all these accounts that he's running around like Mickey Mouse. So it doesn't really matter if you go to the end. The other thing is, too, would you not, if you're going to end up on the rental, because it was always looking like it's going to be rental. We've said it before the window started. Expect rentals. Just bring in a couple bodies that can hopefully help the cause down the stretch. You want those guys in as early as possible? Maybe when our schedule wasn't going into the crazy part to kind of get accustomed and have some time with Spalletti? Or you want to wait even for that till we're right in crunch time and then try to get these guys in and accustomed? It's like all of it is ridiculous to me. And I'm not convinced in Camoli. I'm not convinced in him.
Do you know what I see when I see these decisions to like penny pinch? It almost seems like Camoli is more worried about his job than Spalletti's job. And it almost seems like he's prioritizing his own job security over Spalletti's. And it doesn't really seem like a good look to me, because you're telling me Juve doesn't have the money to put 10 million on Mingueza when you need an outside back to, fill in and rotate. You're telling me you can't put up the money for a striker when Vlahovic is down, David hasn't shown enough, Openda hasn't shown enough at the striker position. You're telling me you can't shell the money out for him. So it almost shows me like Camoli's playing it safe because he's trying to protect his own job as opposed to support Spalletti with his role.
We know we're in a situation where coming this summer, you're still going to have to sell. You're still at a point you're going to have to sell to buy. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, you got this Tonali pipe dream that keeps coming. Tonali dream. You're going to have to sell, significantly to get in there. Newcastle has the wall up. And this is another issue I have with this whole situation. Frank Kessié, Tonali, Selleck on a free transfer, okay? Norden Cuffy, 20 million euros. They don't like that valuation. Juve doesn't like that valuation. Guys, these are all names for the fucking summer. We are in January. You just need like 2 positions to just help this team go through a little bit stronger, a little bit safer, with a little more protection. Spalletti has identified what he wants. Not a good look for a coach that still looking to renew.
Yeah. Who's to say that he will, right? And so this is what kills me too, is I know the books are different year by year or year after year, but if you make some signings in this window and you get to round of 16 of Champions League, you get to the Coppa Italia final or potentially win the Coppa Italia, that's revenue coming in and money coming in. So you're trying to say that they're not going to be able to cover their spending. You know what I mean? Like with this little bit, like this is what doesn't make sense to me. If you're worried about spending the money, but you progress further in the Champions League, you potentially win Coppa Italia, you finish in the top 2 in Serie A, like that's revenue that you're going to be bringing in and money that you're making. So it's like for the 3 million on Mateta, like you're not going to be able to get that back. Like it's just so stupid.
It's very similar to where we were at this point last season, right? We were thinking about, man, what are the prospects if we lose Champions League? You have to act. We did. January is when we got the deals on Kolomuani, on Vega, on Kelly, and we were upset with the obligation. But to be fair, given time, Kelly's actually proven that price tag's pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. And at very least, you have yourself a very good squad player on a back 3 defensive line setup. But that's besides the point. We went out, we attacked it, we got rental deals done. And everybody is still arguing that a couple of those guys should have been purchased outright.
100%.
That the new guy backed out of. Kamoli backed out, wanted no part in the Vega move. He went to the point where he didn't even accept the portion that was already agreed upon with Giuntoli that he was going to join us for the Club World Cup. We limped into there with the back line. It was crazy to me. It makes no sense, but nonetheless, hey, who are we to criticize, right? No, we're just fans venting frustrations, because for me, I don't want to see Juve with egg on its face, and sadly, I feel like the way we have been operating looks like that. If a Nesri deal is done, okay, if they can get this thing over the line, good. Right now, as it stands, the rumors are that Sevilla is where Nesri and his agent offered themselves up to. They offered themselves up to a return there. And now they're all looking at it and everything. This is a silly situation, but Nesri too. Like we give him this opportunity, whatever. The rumors were he wanted a permanent move. He doesn't want to just go somewhere on a loan. And meanwhile, you sent Ottolini there. He comes back empty-handed. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bad look for me, man. Very, very small time. And if this is what we are to expect, I'll go right out there and say it, because I have no problem. And I've already been taking heat anyways. I might as well take some more. But if this is how we're going to operate, get that guy and send him right back to Toulouse. Okay? And I have no problem saying that. If this is the way we are going to operate, just send him back. Okay? Let's pick it up. It's fucking January 25th. Bring Spalletti 2 bodies. Okay? I don't care if it's sack of water, like fucking Skanga says. Okay? Give me a sack of water. Let's go. Now, those other guys. Frank Kessié. Approaching him on a free transfer potentially in the summer. Your thoughts on this midfielder? Trim, I could feel the Achita build up there as you shake your head there. Frank Kessié, man. What are your thoughts? Chat, Frank Kessié.
Are we gonna bring what's his name? Are we turning into 21, 22 AC Milan here? Kalulu, Teo Hernandez, Cassier. Geez, man, like bring Pioli in if Spalletti leaves. Like, is this what we're coming to? Yeah, I don't know. I understand the want for like that kind of a profile, like a secondary guy like that. More physical than Locatelli, but like a ball retention kind of distributor. But I don't know, man. I just don't see the need in bringing him in unless you were to miss out on a guy like Tonali. But ultimately, if Tonali's the dream, then yeah, like you said, start selling and raise those funds because that's who you have to get. Go for one guy. Don't go for potentially 2-3 targets. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, the only world that I can see it making sense is if we sell a guy like Coop Miners. Then okay, it makes sense. You need to one body out, bring a body in, kind of thing. But I'd almost go as far as if you do manage to sell Coop, like you can bring in 2 guys. So for me, Kessié is not the guy. Like, I'd rather Bernardo Silva on a free, but who knows? Maybe they're not having as much luck convincing his entourage to come and sign for Juve. So maybe that's why a guy like Kessié wants to come back, obviously, to Serie A or to Italy, right?
Hey, what happened to Teo? I thought we were close. When you're interested FC, David, you're close with everybody. You're close with everybody when you're interested FC. Frank Kessié, Cliff.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea bringing him in from Saudi Arabia, being, 3 or 4 years removed from the league. And just like, I haven't seen enough of him where I can really purely like judge him on this move. But like, when you think of free moves, I think the Bernardo Silva move, like Trim said, like that's a free move that you're like, okay, you've seen the person on a consistent basis. He still has quality. This gives me a la Pirlo type vibes in terms of a Silva move in. Someone who people think is past it. He does have the qualities that we would need. He brings a different quality on the right as opposed to Yildiz on the left. I was originally opposed to that move. I know that's not what you're talking about, but that's just my 2 cents on that. I think Kessié is a straight up no for me. I don't like these little signings here and there. It's like, bring like you said, 2 bodies in this winter window, and then if you want your big guy, go get your guy, go spend the money on him. Don't try to, nickel and dime like for like 5 or 6 players when you could get 1 or 2 really quality players at positions you need. Don't stretch for 5 or 6 guys penny pinching. Just get the guys you want and be done with it.
Yeah, for me, I was never big on Kessié, even dating back to the Atalanta days, Milan days, etc. Like, I just never big on it. If I'm looking at him coming in now, I questioned all those guys that jumped the second that they could at that moment of their careers, jump to the Saudi. I question those guys. And I mean, Kessié has some qualities that he could help, especially if you're looking at like getting in like a Vice Loca, etc., whatnot. But am I willing to put the kind of salary into Kessié that he's probably going to demand? I'm not really there. And I don't know. Like, I'm kind of on the fence because could he help? Yeah. Is he going to push the needle a hell of a ton? I don't really believe so. And I mean, I would be looking at alternatives, other options, just to see. Because right now, again, it's January and you're talking about the summer and you're talking about Kessié there. What other potential opportunities are going to be there? Is that the main position that we have to get like immediately? Is that profile midfielder? Because I could think of a little bit different profile for a midfielder that we could probably use more so than to make him the out-and-out number 1 approach in the summer. It feels like it's market opportunity taken over again because he's going to be on a free. But again, wages, etc. Let's see. If Cope Miners, if you could find a deal for him and you're replacing him with Kessié on a free, even being however old, what is he, 30 now, Kessié? 29, 30? I mean, that's a trade-off I'd probably take, to be honest.
Yeah.
if you could say goodbye to Coop and then you're bringing in Kessié on a free, like that's not the worst. I still think there's a profile in the midfield you need to get help with. But Kessié, again, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, I feel like. Still feels market opportunity. Tonali, we don't need to talk about Tonali, okay? It's just one of these pipe dreams. Selic as a fullback, free from Roma, no renewal in sight. I saw Gio mention Tom Selleck there. At least we get a dude with a sweet mustache coming in here, okay? This guy does absolutely nothing for me. Like, I'll be quite honest. This guy looks like he could do some damage, very active, like looks like a decent, until you see the end product that is non-existent. So for me, it's a no thank you. Simple as that on Roma's Selleck. Guys, let's start with Cliff on this one, then go back to Trim.
Yeah, I don't think Chelik's a bad player. But like you said, like I think at this stage in his career, I don't think it's the right fit from just our perspective and his perspective. I just don't think he's the profile of player that we need at the moment. He's not bad. He fits what Roma wants to do. I don't think he would fit into what Juve wants to do and their style of play. It's a no for me. I think you'd probably have to end up overpaying for him too, just because he's coming from Roma. Mass is coming in hot.
Heck of a duster on that Tom Selleck. You know who had a sweet duster? Vega. Should have kept him.
That's true. He had a great mustache. But that's my 2 cents on Chelik. I think it's a no for me.
Yeah. And Trim.
Let me put it this way. I'd rather Tom Selleck than Chelik. I'd rather him than...
100%. 100%.
Yeah, like,
what
are we talking about?
What about like, another Roma player linked on a potential free with Juve, and that's Pellegrini?
A little bit more interesting. A little bit more. You got the Italian ties, familiar with Spalletti with his cameos here and there with the Azzurri. I believe he plays higher up. Is he more of like a hybrid, like winger slash in mid, like depending.
He's kind of like a attacking mid more than anything.
Right.
You know?
So, I mean, for me, devil's in the details with that. Like, depends on the contract. But again, for all the fans that are crying about, Ital Juve, well, there you go. There's one guy. Could be an interesting profile. It just depends on, for me, length of contract and the details of that. But
yeah,
I could see him being a decent option, especially if it's a free. Like, I wouldn't go out and pay a wage to get him. That's for sure.
For me, it's really simple on Pellegrini. It'd be like on a free, on a good salary as a rotational player.
Yeah.
would be a solid pickup, I think. If you're picking him up to be one of your mains, then no, right? But if you add this guy, like let's say you make a good signing in the midfield as a top and you were able to bring this guy on a free as well as some depth, I think that's okay for Juve, but not as a main. That's kind of how I feel with Pellegrini. Cliff, what do you think?
Pellegrini of 3-4 years ago, who would play DM, center mid, and cam, and was really, kind of almost like a poor man's Marquisio in terms of he could play anywhere in the midfield for you, and he did a lot of things well. Yes, at this current moment, no. I think he's kind of lost a step in the way that Roma has been playing him, and it's affected his overall confidence in game. So it's a no for me. But Mass mentioned a great player. I love Kone from Roma. I would spend an arm and a leg on that guy. I think Kone is a phenomenal midfielder and a box-to-box player that Juve could really use.
Well, yeah, but if we're picking off players that are not going to be available, I mean, yeah, we could sit here and pick everybody.
Hey,
off these guys.
I'm just giving
Pellegrini,
you my
the thing with him, though, is even at his best, he is very, very streaky. Very, very streaky player. So he goes through these runs where it's lights out, and then it kind of dips off here. Another one thing to finish my thoughts overall on this management and how we've operated this January. You're focusing a lot of names we just discussed, like summertime moves when you're going to have from February 2nd on. Wrap up Keenan Yildiz. Get this fucking deal done. McKennie, we're nickel and diming. So the latest is 4 years, 4.5 million is what he wants. Juve's up to 3.5 million. Are you fine meeting in the middle at 4? Like, get it done. Like, I'm fine. I'm confident in saying, just keep McKennie around. Obviously, he's important to the players that come in with everything the players say about him and how he is in the dressing room, etc. And I just, it's silly to me. Wrap up the easy ones, the easy things, and then move on. I don't know. I'm fine with 4 million. And I said my max was going to be 3.5. I've actually, you know what? That's business, man. For 4, I'm fine to do it. When I'm looking down the roster at some of these salaries, I'm actually okay to give him 4. Just get, this guy is in the upper echelon of midfielders historically for Champions League goals at Juve on 9, okay? He just takes the shit, takes the heat, and somehow just keeps chugging along, and every single coach that comes in puts McKennie in the lineup. I thought that was going to end this year. I was dead wrong, and you know what? I have no problem with it because he's delivering. I say get it done. 4 million, are you guys in?
I've been very consistent. I was about to call you out, Al, because the last time we spoke about McKennie, you said you wouldn't budget 3.5. So I'm really happy you said that because I was about to smoke your ass on that.
I don't want to. I don't think we should. But, like, I mean, 3.5 is good for him.
Yeah,
personally.
It's good.
But 4.5, like, okay, Mac, bring it down.
When we spoke about this conversation a couple shows ago, I said 4 is my number, and I'm very comfortable with giving him 4. And I think at this moment in time, I'm still comfortable with that number. 4.25 would be like, I think pushing it a little bit, but I think we have to, like you said, like he's putting in the performances. I've been a very vocal fan of McKennie for about 5 years now, for as long as he's been with the team. Everybody doubts him. Every manager doubts him. You know, he always proves them wrong. He always proves the fans wrong that he is consistent enough that he deserves to be in this team. He's a crucial part of this team. He's the engine that keeps it going. And he helps us when we really need him, whether it's a goal, a play, a defensive intervention. Like, he always turns up. So I say sign him, sign Yildiz. And I think if that happens by the end of this window, which I don't think it will, if you sign McKennie and Yildiz, I think people would be a lot more happy with not having any deals done because at least you locked in 2 of your most important players.
Here's a big reason why, like, also for me is obviously you're going to be saying goodbye to Dusan Vlahovic. He's on 12 million net a year. You've got more than enough to just boost Mac that bit. Also, you have Cope Miners that's on 4.5 million, and I believe that this summer you cut your losses on Cope Miners no matter what. Like, keep the roster fresh. We can't. This is something I've been pretty critical of Juve over these past 5 years. Like, never being able to cut the cord because of the finances and just being like, can't take a hit here, can't take a hit here, can't take a hit here. Start taking the hits you need to. That'll get you further in the end game. And for me, when I look at those 2 immediately, you have more than enough to just boost McKennie to 4 and then go from there. You've got a lot of help coming in Dusan's salary leaving the books. Like, a lot of help there. You could split that up into 3 really good players, 12 mil net. So
easily.
Let's see, right? But yeah, McKennie, Yildiz. I don't understand Juve not doing the simple things, but simple today, Napoli won't be so simple. We're gonna get to this, even though that they're a battered team. Let's start previewing this game. Juve have won one of their last 9 league meetings with Napoli, including several that Spalletti was actually in charge of Napoli. Napoli have only won, though, despite that, twice across 14 visits to Allianz Stadium, losing on 10 occasions. Furthermore, ahead of this latest return to Turin, Antonio Conte has never beaten his old side at their home ground. Never done it. Conte's current team may have lifted the Supercoppa Italiana last month, but their top flight form has dipped a bit. 3 straight draws preceded last week's 1-0 defeat of Sassuolo. That result at least kept the Scudetto holders within range of leaders Inter Merda and 4 points clear of Juve. Unbeaten in 9 games across all competitions. Demoralizing draw for them midweek in Champions League. So we're both coming off Champions League matchups. That's a brutal draw for Napoli. Antonio Conte's Champions League record. Whew. My goodness. What was it? 17, 16, and 16 or something silly like that. Somewhere along those lines. But a recent record of just 4 wins from 13 on the road. Napoli will actually not be favorites when they meet Juve for the 160th time in Serie A. Juve coming off a hard-nosed win against Benfica, and they carry a fantastic home record as you have to go back to March, the last time they suffered a defeat at home. This is going to be a battle. Can Juve exact revenge from their defeat at the Maradona? We'll see. Napoli's form in Serie A, 3 wins, 3 draws last 6. Juve's form, 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Juve are the side against whom Napoli have lost the most in Serie A, losing 71 matches out of the 159. As well, Napoli have lost 48 times on the road to Juventus, winning just 9 total in the history. Okay? Since Spalletti's arrival, we have picked up 24 points in Serie A, more than Napoli's 22, and only bettered by Milan at 28 and Inter at 31. We've kept 6 clean sheets from our last 9 matches, conceding just 3 goals in that time, and never more than 1 per game. The last time they conceded more than 1 in a game actually was against Napoli, December 7th. That was the last time we conceded multiple goals. Yildiz has had a hand in 101 shots taken this season in Serie A, 60 of his own, 41 created. That's fewer only than Nico Paz's 117. Yildiz has also hit the post more than any other player in the league this season 5 times. 5 times. His tally would be stellar. Imagine those all ended up being bagged. As well as being the league's most fouled player in the final third of the pitch. Locatelli 1 appearance away from his 300th in Serie A. And the first of his 3 penalty goals came against Napoli on the 1st of November 2020 as a Sassuolo player. Since the beginning of Serie A season, no outfield player has played more than Pierre Kalulu's 2,610 minutes. 100% of the minutes available to Juve. Jonathan David has been involved in 4 goals in his last 5 league games. 2 goals, 2 assists. He is 1 win away from his 100th victory across Europe's top 5 leagues in 198 appearances so far. Injuries, we know Napoli's battered. Noah Lang due to join Galatasaray. Hellas Verona's Giovanni set to come in potentially. Conte, he could do with some fresh faces. David Neres ruled out for 2 months, joining Rachmani, De Bruyne, Billy Gilmore. And Anguissa and Merritt are supposed to be returning. So there was a little bit of doubt carried there. For Juve, Milik, Rugani, and Vlahovic out. Fellas, gonna give you the set the tone so that we have it in honor of Mr. Skanga, okay? We're going to look at the mutt that's going to officiate this game today. It's Maurizio Mariani. 178 appearances in Serie A, 4.7 yellows per game, 54 red cards, 61 PKs. Maurizio Mariani. And the last time he officiated Juve, you got to go quite a ways back here. Trying to track this one. Holy smokes. He did Juve Inter 1-0 February 16th, 2025. That's the last time he did a Juve match. Now, do what you want with that one, fellas. Let's take a look. This is the projected lineup for Napoli. So Merritt is expected to be in goal. Di Lorenzo, Buongiorno, Juan Jesus, Gutierrez, Lobotka, McTominay, Spinazzola, Vergara, Højlund, Elmas. And Vergara actually looks like a decent little player, to be quite honest. Juve, as expected, McKennie slots inside to make room for Chico Conceição. The rest is as projected. Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly, Cambiaso, Locatelli, Thuram, Chico, McKennie, Yildiz, and Jonathan David. Guys, how do you feel about the match? Keys to victory? How do you think this thing goes down? Let's start with Trim.
So I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Obviously, you highlighted Napoli's injuries. A lot of key players are out, so we're going to be hearing a lot about that at the end of the match when they lose this one. I think the obvious keys to victory, number one, that midfield duo of Lobotka and McTominay. Shadow the hell out of McTominay. They need somebody to constantly be on that guy because he's going to be the guy that creates and facilitates for their offense to get them going. I know a lot of people are going to also mention Rasmus Højlund, but I think a lot of it comes from McTominay. So you shut McTominay down, ball doesn't get to the other guys. So for me, it's Lobotka and McTominay. And Lobotka often gets forgotten when it comes to this Napoli roster. He's a really good player, hell of a player. We were actually linked to him in the summertime, funny enough, with the Lynx FC that we are. But keys to victory, like I said, McTominay, shut him down. I think that's the biggest thing. From the Juve side of things, start hot. We saw what happened in the Benfica match and how we could not even make a 10-foot pass to each other. And that almost caused us to go down early in that match, and things could have been different in terms of scoreline in that Wednesday midweek Champions League match and fixture. So start off hot. I would be okay with Napoli having more possession in this case, just because, you want to make sure that you're behind the ball when defending, and you want to just limit time and space for those guys. So for me, it's start off hot for Juve, and again, watch McTominay and shadow him as much as you can to prevent him from being creative and a pain in our side and a pain in our ass. In terms of how it goes down, I guess I'll wait till we do predictions, but that's the keys to victory for me. Shut down McTominay and start hot.
There you go. Cliff, thoughts?
Get ready, because it's going to be a very long-winded answer. So if you could bring up Napoli's team one more time, Al. Got a few things I want to break down. So obviously we see Juve's lineup. Napoli's lineup, the three players who I'm looking out for are Vergara, like you said, he's been in really good form, the young player. Højlund has been really hot, and McTominay. If you look at those wing positions, I think we're very fortunate because the guys who attacked us last time, Neres, broken ankle, out for 3 months. Lang, off to Galatasaray, he's gone. So those are two weapons that are gone from this match that we don't have to worry about at all, which is huge because they terrorized us. I think if you can shut down Vergara, Højlund, and like Trim said, keep, say, Thuram by the hip at McTominay, I think that takes out three of their most dangerous players. From Juve's side, from the attacking standpoint, go after Di Lorenzo, go after Buongiorno. Buongiorno has looked very, very suspect the last few weeks, and I think Yildiz can attack that left side and create space between Di Lorenzo and Buongiorno. You can get at Medek, get some shots on goal. McKennie can drop in and assist Yildiz, have some build-up play, and make some damage happen. And I think the biggest thing is play Spalletti ball. 1-2 passes, because Conte's team is going to work. They're going to press the shit out of you. So get rid of the ball quickly. Do not play with the ball, Kalulu. Do not play with the ball, Coop Miners, if you're on the ball. Just get rid of the ball, get it up the pitch as quickly as you can. And I think those really is a very long-winded way of saying I think we have a very strong chance in this match, considering the lineups. Napoli are exposed at the moment. I think Juve can attack them at home.
Yeah, I see some comments here saying that for Juve, the best lineup is to remove Chico Conceição and put Moretti there and keep McKennie out there, etc. I'm going to say on this particular game, I'm going to want Chico Conceição out there. I think the biggest thing is, to be quite honest, Juve can't be tentative, reserved, or afraid in any way, shape, or form. And what we're going to have to figure out is really making sense of the way we attack these guys. Because if you're going to lose something out of having McKennie in that role to Miretti, which would be the technical side, maybe some of the end game creation, you got to make up for it. So the midfield battle is going to be crucial here. Okay. Thuram needs to be a force. He needs to be our version of McTominay. He needs to create havoc. He needs to get into the area. He needs to be ready and willing to fire that damn ball. McKennie is going to make up another outlet in the area, but somewhere that Juve has fallen short of has been back post. When you're sending those crosses in, there's not enough protection there. Juve would be smart in this game to even pull Locatelli a little bit further back. And when the ball is on one side, offer Lloyd Kelly, if it's on the right, to the left to help back post coverage. Offer Kalulu to push up and advance more and pull Locatelli back, just to give more numbers there to help push them back and create a little bit of havoc. Because if you're trying to cross in to only David and only McKennie, it's going to be another long day at the office. And if we are going to sacrifice a little bit of interplay at feet in having Wes in there, you have to have your game plan match up what you're going to do. But in terms of that decision, I 100% start Chico Conceição in this matchup. And the one thing that stands true in all of these games, okay, is going to be this. Monitor those players carefully, because if they do need to move in centrally, you need to pull that trigger very, very fast. The last time we fell victim to that was with Yildiz, and we waited until the 70th minute before moving him inside. He had already exerted and wasted so much energy, and he was still way more effective out of the middle and even rung one off the post. So just Spalletti's going to have to really be on it, pull the trigger when the trigger has to go. But as far as the lineup, I like it. And I look forward to this game, and I think it's going to be the way they always are. It's going to be a battle, but Juve's got to show up physically, and they can't get bossed around or bullied around. They're just as good to play with as much as the ball as this Napoli side, and it should be a pretty even split of the ball, and it's just going to be finding out, hey, who's going to do more with it and take advantage. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there's a PK in this game that ultimately could decide it. It could be a 1-goal game decided match, right? And as far as a live watch along, oh hell yeah. We got a live watch along today, all right?
Some chops on the chair.
With that, we're going to get to prediction time, all right? Final score, fun tiebreaker, how we think this thing's going to go down, okay? Who wants to kick us off on predictions for this one?
I'll go. Want me to go first? Okay. I'll go first.
Yeah, sure, go.
Trim, fire away.
All right. So today's business-like approach. We're going to just go in there, go in our building, take care of business. 2-1 Juve. I'm going to say tiebreaker, Jonathan David gets the winning goal to go up 2-1. I'm going to say a goal in each half. It's going to be tight. But I do feel that the boys get it done. And we're going to hear the Chihuahuas crying about how they're undermanned. They have a lot of injuries. This is the only way we can beat them. But today is Spalletti's revenge game. He knows that he made a costly mistake in the previous match when we played them, not playing a 9 and kind of overthinking things. I think we've seen a decent run of form from our club, despite the loss to Cagliari. That was kind of like Juve getting in their own way. So I think that today we make a statement. We get a win, get back, draw closer to Napoli in the standings, and put some pressure on the top teams once again. So 2-1 Juve, David, and we'll go with the other goal scorer. I'm going to give it to Weston McKennie. So 2 goals, one from Weston, one from David, but David will get the winner, and it'll be a goal in each half.
All right. Nice. Cliff, you're up, man.
I like the McKennie shout. That made me very happy. We're going to take care of Bizanis today. I like what Trim said with that. I think that's the mindset we need to have going into this match. I agree with the score prediction. I think 2-1 is very, very likely. Low scoring, not a ton of goals. really cagey match. I think this is going to get a lot of yellow cards in this match. I think we're going to see some controversial calls, probably, unfortunately, because in today's game with the refereeing, we see that a lot. So I do think we'll probably see some, shouts from both teams about, missed calls or whatnot. This is Spalletti's revenge match, 100% trim. I'm going to have a John Wick GIF ready to go on X if we end up winning this match. I think McKennie is going to be man of the match. I agree with that statement. I think he snags a goal. I think I'm going to be bold, and not bold, but I think Chico gets a goal as well. I think Chico and McKennie get the goals. I'm going to say we get a center back assist. I'm going to see a Lloyd Kelly assist today. Over the top. Chico's going to take a nice touch and slot it past Medet. Yeah, and those are, I guess the bold prediction is a Lloyd Kelly assist. That's my bold prediction of this match. But, guys, I'm fired up. I'm ready for some Alberto chops on the chair. I'm ready, man. This is going to be a good match.
I'm going to start my prediction with this. Preliminary day is going to go to the entire fucking squad and coach included, okay? So they get a big fat day. As far as my prediction goes, 1-1 until late, and there is a PK to where Locatelli steps up and pots the PK. 2-1 Juve in an absolute grind of a match. It might be fitting that we had a little bit of a dogfight on our hands with Benfica, because I feel like this is going to be yet another dogfight. So might have been the best way to prepare for this particular game. And Locatelli was at the heart of that dogfight against Benfica, finally getting some of the props, long overdue. But yeah, let's carry it forward. I'm going 2-1, going PK for Loca as the winner. Let's see. And yeah, again, this is an early start, going to be like 9 a.m. my time, so just over 2 hours from now. Okay, so 20 minutes before kickoff, we reconvene here for the match. We're going to get to some Storm the Barn. We got some segments for these boys too that we're going to get into. George, ain't no way we're waiting for En-Nesyri. F him. Go for someone else. Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, that too, right? Why didn't Kamoli sign any players in the transfer window? Because he thought there was nothing to lose. Okay.
Yes. I love this one.
That's actually well played, Adam. I actually don't mind that one. Okay.
Good stuff, bud.
It's one of the better ones. One of the better ones.
Yes.
What's Giratina got here? You guys don't get it. And En-Nesyri played for Sevilla before. No, we understand that. Wouldn't you prefer a comfortable location? I don't care what he prefers. I understand his hesitation. This one is not on Kamoli. False.
It is.
Somebody isn't getting something, but unfortunately, it's not us. Listen, he sent Ottolini there to wrap the deal up with the club when they had no agreement with En-Nesyri. It's not difficult to comprehend. You had nothing with the player agreed upon, other than the fact that he said he was willing to join. He's open to it. And you went in to close a deal that you didn't have. It's really that simple. I don't give a shit about what En-Nesyri wants. That's the whole point. You're supposed to find that out before you send a guy over there looking like a goof.
Dude's jet lagged out of his mind. He's like, oh, En-Nesyri doesn't want to come here? What
Madonna mia, man. We went in there to work them from a loan obligation to a loan option. You didn't even have the players, yes, fully. What are we talking about here? It's very simple to figure out. I think I mentioned Uzun a couple months back too. He was great start of the season, then got injured. I'd give up anything to get that kid. Surely some best friend Yildiz leverage too. The price tags already expected at 70 mil on this guy? Like what?
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's way too high. I don't know. That's crazy to me.
Another Turk. We want the Turk national side, eh?
Yeah. Anything to sweeten the deal for Yildiz. That's what I think it's,
Madonna. A right back we should look out for this summer is Malo Gusto. He doesn't get playing time anymore because of Reece James. The issue might be his wage and that he's a Prem player, so we need to splash some money.
Absolutely.
That name has been linked already too to be one of the names upon, again, it's a long list because you're interested FC. So, but yeah, my goodness, man. But no problems paying $70 million for him. Yeah, I mean, these teams that make ridiculous money even when they don't do shit. But Malo Gusto, there's a lot of this pretty much.
He's a good player.
Well, according to
he
Sylvain,
is a good
shit.
player.
So
No.
Adam says he's not bad. Come on, you guys battle it out in the chat. We're gonna keep things rolling. Malo Gusto. I made a bet with my barber if Juve don't win by what? Shocking. A barber that's a Napoli fan? Shocker there. I made a bet with my barber. If Juve don't win by +2 goals, I'd get a Conte Napoli tattoo temporary on my neck for a month. Hey.
Okay.
Are you cooked? You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
No, he's cooked. We're not getting 2+ goals.
Oh yeah,
I would have been good with just the win, but
you'll be fine.
Hey, shoot your shot, bro.
Otherwise,
for the first time in years, I am worried about finishing in the top 4. Not because of Roma though, because of Como. Don't be scared. I'm not scared about top 4. Not worried about it. Not right now. No. It's way too early to be too concerned. Yeah. This is a big game. This is a big swing of points.
Yeah.
Like crucial stuff.
Not to mention too, they give Como credit. They're on a great run, but I mean, again, we've seen it with some of these smaller quote unquote teams. Like towards the end of the season, they almost run out of steam. And again, I'm not trying to take away anything from them because they've had a good start, but you got to remember, like we tend to pour it on towards the end of the season too, when the games matter the most. So, I mean, it speaks for itself, the history, right?
Yeah. What do we got? I don't think this was a storm in the barn, but Tony Roast Beef always comes in here because as you put roast beefs together, STB shows up. So when it always comes up. What do you guys think Gatti spends his time thinking about?
His hair.
Yeah, it was definitely the hair.
The fact that it's come back, man. You look at some of the images before when he shaved his head. Holy smokes!
It was poor. It's like, bro, just let it go.
That's good.
There's no
work,
way
though. That's a
solid
advertisement for. I bet you if you Googled like Turkish hair restorations, he's one of the like selling photos because it was a disaster.
Him and Conte, man, they should just be a side by side.
With Dusan leaving, Openda probably also heading out. And possible January edition at the striker role only being a stopgap at this point. Who do you choose to bring in the summer as a new night? Okay, so first of all, the Openda thing's going to be very tricky at that obligation price. If they're planning on saying a goodbye there, it's going to be very, very difficult for them. As far as the nines go, I'd wait and see. There's a lot of time right now, Jonathan David, to kind of like pick things, even for Openda, to be quite honest. Like, let's see where things lie, where things finish. Maybe you go back to the well on Mateta. Maybe you go back to Kolomuani, right? So let's just wait and see what develops before we just name that guy right now. Let's just wait. Let's just wait and see. But yeah, I wouldn't go too crazy. And Douglas Luiz, we didn't even talk about this, but new reports on Douglas Luiz that Nottingham will not buy him. Would you guys want him to return this winter? I think he will return to his best under Spalletti. This has been thrown out there.
Absolutely not. I don't want Douglas Luiz anywhere near this team. One is a cancer on the field, and I think he's probably a cancer in the locker room because of his field play. I would not want him back on this team. Do whatever you can to get rid of him. To pull an Artur, send him to Brazil again, and see how he does there, and then sell him.
I think that's a little bit much, to be honest. Take it easy, okay? His play, I don't think play, if you're looking before we signed him, solid. Like, the guy's got the tools. He's a talented midfielder. The problem is, this is another guy to add to the list of signings that seem like we make that we don't actually give a shit. Like, when you're talking about João Mario is a current one for Camoli on his list. Nobody seems to give a fuck. That guy is walking around like Steven Glansberg at Continasa, just sitting there by himself eating lunch at the cafeteria. Like, he might as well call him John Cena. Like, nobody could see him, okay? I don't know what the deal is with Joao Mario. Douglas Luiz is one of the same. It feels like we didn't take that move seriously because it looked like Motta didn't give a shit about him. Giuntoli didn't give a shit about him. And it felt like Douglas Luiz didn't give a shit about Juve. It's fucking weird. It's a stupid, stupid situation that we have to stop finding ourselves in. Like, if a guy is coming, get them to be locked in, make sure they're locked in, and treat the situation. I'm starting to think we actually wanted Lehman more than we wanted Luiz.
Well, that's
so.
what I'm
And we
saying.
just brought him along for the fucking ride when he was the one that actually cost the money. Like, it's ridiculous. They need to fucking stop that, okay? They need to stop that. But Douglas Luiz, I mean, I just think the situation, you can't bring the guy back. It's over.
Yeah.
Like, it was... Yeah. There's no point. It's a disaster. If Chelsea wants him, great, try and find a move. But, yeah, it's a shame there because he was solid before. From being hard to deal with, Comolli works on being the laugh out of all managers since he can't secure any deals. I've completely lost any faith in the guy. He makes Juve worse so far. Hey, Mitch, I mean, you get no arguments from me. I think it looks small time. I think this dude looks small time. We were pretty clear about it and look at small time. But we've got a few more we're going to save, get back to. First, it's time to trim the fat. Oh, listen to that bacon sizzle.
Love the sizzle. Love a good sizzle in the morning. That actually, I might have a storm the barn to follow this segment. But so
I like it.
With the recent transfer drama regarding strikers, some of the fan base seems pretty content with just standing pat and saying, we don't need to sign a striker in this window. Or why are we even looking at a striker? Kind of questioning it. So my trim the fat is pretty simple. Although I'm as well documented, I'm a big Jonathan David fan, and I do appreciate Openda's skill set. I still think we need to bring in a striker. It's pretty obvious. You can't go into the rest of the season with two guys, risking injury, and then having one guy. Furthermore, I think it just opens up a lot of options for the club. You bring in a second striker or a third striker in this case, you have the potential to find possibly a vice Yildiz by moving and shifting Openda over to the wing on that side. And that gives you some options and flexibility. So I'm not going to change my stance on, I've always been a proponent of whether it was En-Nesyri, whether it was Mateta. I said I wouldn't go with something permanent. Al touched on it. You said we can go with rentals into the January market and into the end of the season. I've been a big proponent of that as well. So I just really feel like we still need to bring someone in. It doesn't have to be on a permanent, but I just feel like we need depth. It's to get us to where we want to ultimately get to. You need a solid rotation of players and guys firing at all cylinders, because if not, it's not going to be enough to stack up against the rest of the league. So I'm still a proponent of bringing someone in. How about you guys?
Yeah, first off, Cliff, are you sending in Storm the Barns while we're actually live? Listen, look at this guy.
Ooh, turkey bacon.
Oh yes, my man.
Yeah,
Trim nose ball. And yes, I am.
We'll save that for after. Anyway, sorry.
Unbelievable. Who's gonna take this one on Trim's follow up? I'll go, or you can go.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. I'd argue that this Vice Yildiz thing is not a higher priority than a striker, because if you're going to find a Vice Yildiz, you're still going to be left out on some traits that we just simply don't lack, or excuse me, that we simply lack at the striker position, which is aerial presence and threat. So if you can get a true 9 that can actually be a target, it opens you up. It opens you up to play 2 striker sets more prominently than you can with Openda and David, because they are very similar in terms of stature, in terms of gameplay, etc., and being support strikers more so than true lead 9s, right? Mm-hmm. You could be a lead 9 in France. I think he's starting to figure out it's difficult in Italy when you have everybody in the box on 60% of the teams that you play against. That space just isn't there. So it's different. Yeah, you need a striker. Vlahovic is out until sometime in April. Don't fuck around. Bring somebody that gives you the traits that you simply don't have. As far as Yildiz, like I said, 2 striker set, you could get him some rest. There is nothing preventing Chico from playing on the left side to give him that reprieve. You can have Meretti, you can have McKennie out there as well, and there is nothing stopping this from happening. This whole left foot, right foot business needs to fucking go away. And you just got to take care of business. You need a striker, and you need somebody on the outside that isn't Kostic or Cabal that could challenge Cambiaso to get his head out of his ass. Those are the two. Find 2 rentals at those positions, and then Kamoli, you can go into your dream of the summer and whatever the fuck you want to do. Just find those 2 for me. Simple as that. Cliff?
Yeah, I think it's really simple. Like, striker should be the priority. Like, at the minimum, if you bring a striker in on a rental, you give Openda the ability to move to the wing and be the vice to Yildiz and actually give him like proper rest on certain matches that you don't need him, and you could test Openda out at that position, and who knows, he might absolutely excel, and then gives you a little bit more to think about when you have Openda performing on the wing, and then it gives you a little bit more variability in the team and how you want to attack teams. You can maybe put Openda on the right, play him and Yildiz on the wings, and then you have a proper number 9 up top. But just bringing in a striker alone, that's like the bare minimum. If you at least do that, it gives you the optionality. Whereas if you just keep things the status quo, you're really like hand-tied to only have the options of Openda and David up top at striker, and Yildiz is still left on an island by himself. So I think the bare minimum is bringing in a striker to provide that optionality in the front 3.
Yeah. I definitely think so. We all agree on Trim the Fat. Striker, yeah, you should be bringing in a striker. And 1 outside player. Vice Yildiz can be Kostic.
Ooh, that hurts. I don't know about that.
I see Kostic as a perfect vice to Toto the bus driver. That's where I see him as a perfect vice. Now, Cliff, time for you, man. We're going off a cliff. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, so we got a couple statements, and you guys are going to give us, is this off a cliff, meaning do we think this is a no burger, a nothing burger, or we're going to keep it on the cliff, meaning we agree with the statement, or we think that it has the potential to become true in the future. So first, this is going to be Coppa Italia edition. Do we think Como makes it to the Coppa Italia final, given that, you know, other teams have the priorities elsewhere, like Inter, Juve, Napoli? What do we think?
What side of the bracket are they on? I guess they're on the opposite side because we've got Atalanta, and then who's on the other side for us? It's Lazio Bologna, I think, or no?
Yeah, Lazio Bologna.
Lazio Bologna, okay.
It'd be a tough trip for them.
Who do they start against? Who's their quarterfinal against?
I think their next one is
it's either Inter or Napoli, I guess. It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
So Como is playing. Man, where are they at right now? Are they already done this round? Are they ready to play Fiorentina? Is it?
Yeah, they're playing Fiorentina, and then if they win that match, which I think they will, then they play either.
They play Napoli. The winner of Napoli and who made it out of that one side? It's going to be a weak opponent. Most likely going to be Napoli that they play.
Yeah.
And then they would have to play either like Inter, Roma in the semi.
Yeah. It's a tough draw.
I'm gonna say say they don't make it.
So that's off a cliff.
I'm throwing it off a cliff. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with off a cliff. Unfortunately, I just think that side of the bracket for them is going to be difficult. But also the reason being is, I think if they're smart, they put all their eggs in their basket of actually trying to make a top 5 spot, like a European spot in Serie A. So I think I'm going to go with off the cliff, just strictly on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team will defend against them, and then Fabregas will go crying in the media again. But we had 800 passes. Yeah, sweet.
It's so disrespectful for Cesc Fabregas, but okay.
Don't give a
We're gonna.
shit.
I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys on that one. The next one is this is the year Juve makes it back to the quarterfinals of the UCL.
Ooh, quarters, not even 16. Okay.
I'm being bold on this one. These are bold off the cliffs this weekend.
Oh, I
It's
want
just-
to. I want to take that one and just embrace it and hang on to it and not push it off a cliff. And that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. Yep.
Yeah,
It ain't gonna be pretty
man.
either. It's gonna be ugly, but we'll get in there.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna say we're keeping it on the cliff because I think that we're gonna win on what is it, Tuesday? Everybody plays Tuesday in Champions League. So
Yep.
we have to win Tuesday and hope that we get some help to finish top 8. And I think that's the way we get to the round of 16. Or they do the playoff round of 16, but no, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it on a cliff. I'm gonna say we're Spalletti magic, a little bit of Spalletti magic. I think we figure it out.
Yeah, something just tells me that we make it to the next round and then we get fortunate with a good opponent. Because if we get a really top opponent like a Real Madrid or something, that's going to be difficult, even though they're in flux right now. But I do just have this. I don't know. I just have this feeling, this gut feeling that we're going to get a good opponent, a good draw. I don't know why I have that feeling. I shouldn't, but I do. So I'm going to keep that one on a cliff. Last one. This is another Juve one. I couldn't think of a non-Juve one, but I say Juve hits second place before the end of the season. Off a cliff or not?
Hits or stays?
Hits, just at one point, hits that second position. Whether they keep it or not, but they hit it at some point.
I'm keeping that one.
Yeah,
Keeping that
me
one.
too. I think it's
Because I think Milan drops points at some point. I think I think Napoli drops points at some point. I think we can hit that position. Whether we stay there is a whole nother question.
I'm gonna hold on to that one after today's game too. I just want to say. No, we're taking the max today. Let's get it done. Yeah. Look, that's good shit. And it's Wednesday for all the Champions League matchups.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
That's going to be Monaco. Get that thing done, and we need a lot of help for top 8. You never know. I mean, football's crazy, but most likely get a nice seed into that draw for the first round. So I like that. Who knows? Champions League's crazy, and this Juve right now still trying to get its bearings under themselves with Spalletti, etc. But it's moving in the right direction. Couple blips here and there, but I said not all is lost, and we can't think like that. It's just that's it. It's over. He's not working. Spalletti's not doing it. No, just give them time. Let them go. Even today will be a big indication, in the respond match to that first blip against Napoli, where I think he just tried to do way too much, overthought it. Well, let's see the reaction today and see how it goes. Hopefully it's in favor of the good guys. Yeah, let's go. I don't like Ed Nesri. Should look at someone that actually changes something, or a young talent. Yeah, everybody pretty much just doesn't. It's very underwhelming for Ed Nesri, despite good numbers in Turkey. But having good numbers in Turkey is like being huge in Japan. Just doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. Those Yildiz gloves, though, what a selling.
That's what she said.
Jeez.
So now we got to have gloves that form the star, even though he's doing it. Now you need the gloves to show. What's he going to do? He's going to be like fucking the NFL when the NFL had the logos in the gloves. Now he just goes like this to make the star because it's too crazy to do this shit.
Honestly, that doing that shit goes so much harder than having gloves, to be honest.
It doesn't. Don't wear gloves. It's not hard. It's just gloves are weak in general. So now he's gonna be out here I don't know.
I never understood that.
Signs and gang signs out here.
Don't wear gloves, man. Don't wear. Yeah, do the Snoop Dogg fucking. What the fuck he's doing. Giuseppe wishing for a 3-1 win. Yildiz, Chico, Locatelli, Conte red, McTominay red. Give them all fucking reds. You get a red.
It's like Oprah. You get a car. You get a car. You get a red.
Yeah.
Did Mac slay Lehman? Is that why Douglas fell apart? Who knows, man? But with Mac, you can't leave it out. I mean, if you look at his latest, this guy's getting it done on and off the pitch. Madonna mia. Oh,
Mac
this
is
guy.
a dog, brother. He is a
I
dog.
tell you, Wes, man. Wes. Whew. Outside of Juve, who's your soft spot, smaller Italian side you root for, either because of heritage or just because you support them? Forza Bari. Cosenza, baby. I lupi. Cosenza.
Dude, Napoli,
Yeah.
man, what a small club. No, I'm just kidding. No, for me, it's Avellino. My family's from Avellino, so love Avellino. They're in Serie B this season. They're doing decent. They're staying up, so hopefully, Forza
There
Lupi
you
for
go.
the Avellinese.
There you
I'm,
go.
I'm really glad this came up because I've got two. So obviously from Calabria, Reggio Calabria, Siderno. So I've got two. I've got Regina, obviously, naturally, because they were up once upon a time. They're down in, I believe, D right now. And so the other team is actually from our hometown, Siderno FC, and it's actually a funny story. My family is like sponsored the team and are actually like helping kind of run the team a bit. So we were there this past summer, and they gave me a bunch of gear, so I have it. And then next thing you know, my Zio just went for Christmas and came back, and they actually sent me a kit, so I have it, and I meant to put it up behind me. I got to put it up one of these games. Today wasn't the right moment, but yeah, so I got an official, I guess, ASD Siderno kit, which is pretty awesome. So shout out to them, shout out to the fam, and yeah, those are my two soft spot clubs, man.
There you go. There you
love
go.
that.
Now, I got one for you guys. We're getting close to wrapping up. Give me your three top performers for Juve this season. Yildiz obviously one. Yildiz would be one.
Yeah,
Top
this is
performer.
an easy one.
Who's your next two?
I'm gonna go. I think this is gonna shock some people. I'm gonna go Digre, and I'm gonna go McKennie.
D-Gray.
I think
Really?
people have really underrated his performances. He's saved us in a lot of matches, and I don't think he's really getting the appreciation he deserves. And then I think McKennie.
I think this is really difficult when you separate Keenan Yildiz.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's really hard. And, I mean, it kind of makes me... It's when people say, like, oh, man, they're ready to just fucking end it. Like, they're just like, this team, the same shit over and over and over and stuff. When you ask a question like this and you sit back and think, it actually gives me a little more leeway for Spalletti and even the team to just kind of, like, sort things out and whatever. Because, I mean, I've got McKennie in there. I've got Locatelli in there. I've got Kalulu in there, who hasn't rested a single minute. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I think Lloyd Kelly could be a shout. Bremer could be a shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Like-
kind of exclude Bremer because he hasn't been, playing as much time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For
He's
me,
in
I
there.
think
It's a huge difference.
But
And,
Loca,
and that's
you could
part
put
of
Loca
being
in there.
a top performer for the year, because it's like when you're in there, it's a drastic difference, right? I think it gives me it's nice to sit back and look at that because you have a lot of guys that are in there. If I had to outright just name my three, I'd probably go Yildiz. I think Kalulu at the right center back. It started off ugly with that whole wing back thing, but at right center back, he's been phenomenal. And I'm going to go... It's between Mac and Loca for me. And I just got to go for the sake of consistency. And this is not a detriment to McKennie. It's just he played in a position that in some games doesn't suit him, but Loca. So I'm going to go Yildiz, Loca, Kalulu for me.
Yeah, my three short and sweet are pretty much identical to yours, Alan. I was going to say honorable mention to Weston because he's stepped it up lately, but there's been more games where he's kind of been on an island because of positionally, like whether it was with Tudor or Spalletti, he was kind of put in a different position where he wasn't able to succeed, and he had a couple of off games where I feel like Loca's been consistently, I'd argue, dominant since game one. Like he's been one of, if not the most consistent player we've had all season between him and Kalulu not missing a beat and not missing a minute of action. So For me, it's those three. If you're going to put Yildiz in there, if you took Yildiz off the list, then it'd be Weston, Locatelli, and Kalulu. So those four are easily the most consistent.
Yeah.
You
Kelly
guys
a
are
7-8 every game. Come on, Berto. But we didn't drop off tremendously when Co-Miners had to step in there. That's the difference. Loca's out, drop off. Drop off. And 7 to 8 ratings, 20 plus games consecutively. If you even give a shit about ratings, which I really don't. But 20 plus straight games on the trot for Loca. And Kalulu, what are we talking about? Kalulu hasn't even been able to be taken off the pitch.
Yeah.
It's like, those are the guys I'm going to go with, man. But Mac's got some impact too. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. Guys, we're going to wrap up there. 20 minutes before kickoff, we reconvene. Good stuff. Let's see. Hopefully Juve takes care of business and beats these guys. I want to see Napoli take the L. I want to see Conte furious. Like, I want it all. I want the stadium rocking. I want it absolutely loud. I want us to jump on the front foot. I have a feeling Napoli might try to come out guns blazing because of how they played us the first time and want to take that into our house, maybe create a little bit of havoc and make the fans maybe a little nervous to bring their noise down, but we just got to counter it. I want to see us jump on the front foot. First goal in this game is a big one. Huge. A big one because we're expecting a tight game. So hopefully Juve can be the ones that nab it. Let's see. But Trim, Cliff, absolute pleasure as always, fellas. Enjoy the game for everybody else. Hope to see you on the live watch along. Drop a like if you haven't and subscribe if you haven't already. Big one today, okay? Absolute huge one today. Like an hour and 20 minutes. We'll be right back here. Fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Napoli. The Barbers. The Toothless Wonders. The Scum. Stay. Affanculo, okay? Let's go. Let's hand them that defeat.